grain, bread, life. At the stage of drawing, the main task is to build a preparatory drawing for painting details of a picture with paints with the subsequent detailing. For the picture, I chose Canson paper, 60% cotton and 40% cellulose. I use a soft 2B pencil to draw. I build the composition based on the rule of the golden section. The upper line of the golden section is the boundary between the sky and the beginning of wheat. The bottom line of the golden section means the transition of vertical standing groups of wheat with fallen sheaves of wheat to the ground. The compositional center is placed on the right vertical line of the golden section and will be the focus of the compositional center. I use the masking liquid to cover parts of the composition of the picture, which in the process of painting remain closed from the paint. And in the future, when removing the masking liquid, I will also cover them with paint. Masking liquid of any manufacturer can be used for masking. As a tool for application, I use a brush with a capsule filled with a solution of soapy water, so that the liquid does not dry out and does not damage the brush. Thin brushes, toothpicks, needles, or a metal nib can also be used. After applying the masking liquid, it should be given 10 minutes to dry. I will paint a picture in the technique of wet on wet. To do this, slowly moisten the paper with water with a wide brush on both sides. Wetting should be done for 10 to 20 minutes. After wetting, allow the paper to absorb water. The finished surface for painting should be matte, without puddles of water. For painting, I use the Watercolor by Ukrainian manufacturer ROSA. Squirrel hair brushes by Heron Company. The first stage of painting details is the selection of colors in yellow and cold shades. To do this, I choose Aureoline base paint and add it to each spot of the composition that I select for painting details. The main task during drawing is to observe the light-tonal relations in the picture. Light wheat silhouette, darker sky, and even darker shadows in the picture. The saturation of a picture with colors and light tonal combinations of paints occurs from light to dark. To paint wheat stalks, I take a brush with an uneven hair end. They can be straight or fan-shaped, combining the texture of the strokes with the light tone of the paints. I achieve a generalized appearance of the vertical wall of wheat in the background, as well as in the rhythms of the sheaves of wheat in the compositional center and those that fell to the ground. I use round and flat brushes number 8 and 10. Dipping them in water, I wipe them with a paper towel to a semi-dry state. In different directions, I wash or lift out paint to lighter spots. In this way, I fill the picture with the nuances of generalized forms of sheaves of wheat. I use this tool for scraping in dark or semi-light spots of wheat stalk paint. By pressing the elastic tip of the palette knife, the paint is squeezed from the surface of the paper. In the process of such work, you can improvise within the previously outlined composition of the picture. For this method, you can use other tools, metal or plastic knives, and plastic cards. I use a natural bristle brush, pre-soaking it in water. Pressing on the tip of the brush, I spray water in the dark spots of the front layer, in the shadow parts of the picture. So I achieve a smooth combination of borders between the spots of the layers. Visually lighten the dark parts. Due to the accidental spread of paint and water, the spots become more texturally interesting. For splattering, you can use plastic or glass containers, sprays with water. At this stage, the picture is completely detailed. Let it dry completely so that you can easily remove the masking fluid from its surface. At this stage, when the picture is completely dry, remove the masking fluid with light circular motions of the fingers. With a wide dry brush, remove the remnants of the removed masking fluid from the surface of the sheet. For the next stage of drawing details, it is necessary to re-moisten a picture, but only from the back. At this stage, I first use a flat brush with short synthetic hair to wash the tips of wheat stalks. They should fit organically and softly into the applied paint stains. I use the applied color to fill the white parts of the stem shapes. I also use a squirrel hair brush number 1 to paint the white parts with warm light shades to maintain the overall bright appearance of wheat, trunks, leaves, and spikelets. Also with this brush, I gradually draw dark details of trunks, spikelets, For fine details of a picture, I use a metal nib. First, I use a round brush to select the paint on the palette and apply it to the tip of the nib. I draw details of grain, spikelets, wheat trunks, shadows in the intervals between the intersection of wheat trunks. I combine alternately a nib and a thin brush. I use a thin brush to draw shadows in the foreground of the picture. I saturate the foreground of the picture with details. The main task at this stage is to create a detailed compositional center. On the edge of touching the sky with the silhouettes of wheat groups in the gaps between the spikelets. I paint the sky. I use a mixture of lavender and royal blue colors. It is also necessary to paint dark spots of wheat. Its stems in the foreground. On damp dark spots, you can re-scratch the details with a palette knife. If it is necessary to create details already on the dried surface, it is possible to scratch details by a tip or a lateral part of a blade of a usual office knife. We finish detailing of a picture and we put the signature. I use a metal pen for the signature. The work is completed. Thank you for attention. I invite you to my classes. I wish inspiration for new achievements.